The foundation for our educational system in Iowa is broken. It is dilapidated. And as a structural engineer, I'm sure you all believe me when I tell you that you can build a structure on a dilapidated foundation. But that is the sorry state of our current education system. To put things in perspective, the cutoff marks in 2014 for our common entrance exams in Sokoto State were 15% for males and 7% for females. And in Zamfara State, it was about 14% for males and 12% for females. Furthermore, 8 out of 36 states in 2014 that sat for the WIAC exams scored a less than 10% passing rate. Sokoto was one of them. All the 8 are from the northern Nigeria. That is very troubling. That is very disturbing. And as a son of the soil, somebody from the north, it bothers me. The National Bureau of Statistics in 2010 conducted a literacy survey. The survey pointed that all of the northern states had a literacy rate of lower than 50%. Now this may be a little bit, I would say, inaccurate because I don't think it incorporates the religious aspect of the literacy, which obviously is predominant and in the northern part of Nigeria. Borno State actually had 8%. That is also very troubling. So when I was asked to speak at this great occasion, it was a no-brainer for me choosing the topic. It was a no-brainer for me choosing the topic with the largest void, that is education. So the theme, Voids and Voices, actually fits this. And this void called education, I've been hearing a lot of speakers talk about the void of several voids in education and things of that nature. When we look at things from so many different perspectives, education or lack of education or lack of quality education had actually given birth to so many other voids. When we look at our society, we will see a lot of things as drug abuse, almajiranci. Somebody came up and talked about that void. There are voids everywhere. But education will be truly considered the root cause of all voids. So today I'll ask you, what is your role? We all have a part to play. We all have a role to play. So we cannot be bystanders anymore. We can't just stand up or sit down and watch, right? We have to do something about it. The current Sokoto State administration has taken on a monumental task to fix, revamp, and revitalize education as a basic necessity for survival and for the development of our society. The question is, what is your role? What void are you looking to fill? Where is your voice on education? Right? Part of the questions that we're looking at, we have a problem of girl child education. We have a problem of quality education or lower quality education. Where does your voice stand? Do not be a bystander. Our public schools have gone from being sought out for or the best to the worst. I mean, many of us here perhaps remember when we wrote common entrance exams, we all wanted to go to federal government college, right? Everybody wanted, or maybe Nigeria Military School, Zaria, Command, all those public schools were great. In fact, if you came home or you didn't get into it, a lot of the Folks from the federal government colleges mocked you if you went to other schools. What is happening today? Everybody is running away from them. What is the problem? What happened? We created a void. We gotta fill the void. But the to getting quality education now depends on your status. It depends on your status in the society, right? We gotta bring back the times when everybody is given equal opportunity to get a great quality education. We may not expect the same or equal outcomes, but at least we're given a chance to try and to make it better so that we can develop our community and become better people. Where does your voice stand? A lot of us are parents. We are older siblings to our younger ones. I remember my mom. I love my mom. I love her to great day. When I was young, my mom she wouldn't let me fail. You know, she taught me the main foundation about mathematics. You know, the dreaded multiplication table and the long division. My mom sat me down. I remember walking around the backyard with her, picking up bottle tops and sticks and stones, you know, to help me, guide me to, you know, learn long division and the multiplication table. Of course, that came with some punishment if I didn't get it right. I had a lot of, you know, the extension cord, but, you know, it made me love mathematics afterwards. I became a better person. So I love my mom for that, but, you know, I did get a lot of, you know, whipping. So, you know, my dad, who has been the greatest influence in my educational career, is also an engineer. I recall, you know, coming back home to him after every exam. When I was in class 5, I sat for the common entrance. I didn't do as well. So I went on to do it in class 6. I took literally so many exams. So I came back home. Every time, my dad will sit back with me. Once he comes back from work, he sits back, goes through all of the past question papers, get me ready for the next exam. Right? He never got tired. He wouldn't take no for an answer. He did not give me a reason to fail. He inspired me. Education is important. He never whipped me though. I think he just believed that I got enough of that from my mom, so he just spared my life. So, but on a serious note, we refuse to focus on the destructive consequences that the void in education presents us. Everybody should contribute. Now, our real problems are not just, you know, it's not just the government or, you know, it's not just the government or bad leaders. It is young people who cannot find jobs. It is our indigents who are broken and who do not have the skills to compete. We have a lot of bright minds, a lot of great people, but where is our voice? How do we fill the void? I guarantee you, if we can fill half the void that is education, we will have solved half the problems that are plaguing our society. We have area boys that are tearing apart neighborhoods, and that is partly and largely due to lack of education, because I believe a lot of us that are educated would not act in similar manner. But I say the real problem is the void that is education. So let our voices be heard on actions to better our education. Let our voices be heard on equality of education, like I said, even though we may not expect different outcomes. Everybody is going to be slightly different. Do not be a bystander. For parents, my advice to you is to be involved and immersed in your children's education. Leaving it all to teachers is no longer enough. You have to do your part. We all have to do our part. We all have connections somewhere. We have to bring it all back here. We're all brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, grandfather, grandparents. So let our voices be heard so that we will not stay satisfied in a state of dependency on the government or other people. Education is the best empowerment. Because no matter what, somebody can take away whatever they give you, but they cannot take away your education. It's in your brain, right? They can take away everything from you, but not your education. And that's what makes you powerful, right? They can take away your wealth, they can take away your position, your appointment, but not your education. And that keeps you powerful to be able to do bigger and better things. So let's raise our voices for plans, for any plans and excuses that are impediments to getting better education. I'll talk a little bit about technology. Personally, I believe technology presents both opportunities and threats. I'm sure, some folks in the audience will beg to differ about the opportunities that it does present to us. Is it makes a lot of things easier. It gives us a lot of connections. It expands our world. Somebody talked about internet, having access to everywhere and everything. One of my professors said, the best thing that happened to the internet is information. But also, the worst thing that could happen to it is education, because there's so much of it, right? The threats that it provides is our over-dependence on it. You could Google something in minutes, something that you had to go to the library, check the encyclopedia, in minutes and seconds you got it. But if you don't use it the right way, it becomes useless to you. So I challenge you all to raise your voices so that we can fill the gap that is education, the void that is education. And I sincerely believe that we can do that. Thank you.